In 1994, Madrid was a city of old and new, its streets steeped in history yet buzzing with the hum of modern technology. But for one father and son, a seemingly insignificant mistake would intertwine their lives in ways neither could have imagined. It all started when Ramon, the father, received a strange call late one evening. He had just switched to a new mobile phone service, eager to stay connected with his family in the ever-changing digital age. The voice on the other end was unfamiliar, but the tone was urgent, almost desperate. "Is this Luis?" the caller asked. Ramon frowned, confusion settling in. "No, this is Ramon. I think you've dialed the wrong number." But the caller insisted, speaking frantically about an urgent matter with someone named Luis. Ramon, a bit annoyed, assured them once again that they had the wrong number and hung up. But that wasn't the end of it. Over the next few days, the calls kept coming, calls for Luis. Each time, Ramon would explain the mistake, but the calls kept coming, more persistent and more urgent. One afternoon, Ramon's son Marcos sat down next to him, curious about the number of missed calls from strangers. Marcos, now a teenager, had his own phone, but his father's old number still lingered in the household, a relic from a time before personal lines were a given. Marcos looked over Ramon's shoulder at the phone screen, his eyes narrowing as he noticed something strange. "Dad, that's the number they've been calling, right?" he asked. Ramon nodded, surprised at the sudden interest. But what happened next would turn his surprise into disbelief. The phone rang again. This time, Marcos grabbed it before his father could. He answered with his usual cool, calm voice. "Hello, Luis speaking." Ramon watched in shock as his son spoke the name that had haunted their household for days. The voice on the other end, once again frantic, calmed as it heard the familiar greeting. The call seemed resolved, the urgency fading. It wasn't until the call ended that Marcos turned to his father, eyes wide with realization. "Dad, it's your old number," he said, his voice almost a whisper. "The one they recycled. It belonged to a Luis, your old friend." It turned out that the number Ramon had received when he switched to his new phone wasn't just a random assignment. It had been the number of an old friend from his youth, someone he had lost touch with long ago. It was the very same number, passed down through generations, unknowingly reassigned to his son. The father and son sat in silence for a moment, the strange coincidence settling in. They never heard from Luis again, but that day, something deep and inexplicable connected them to the past. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share and subscribe to help the channel grow.